We have dedicated the whole of the show today to women's health, something that historically has been both underfunded and unrepresented in research, which is why we're using our platform, not just to shine a light on issues that affect women at every stage in their life, but also to answer important questions about women's health. And that's why Dr. Rosena has been with us for the whole show, to share her opinions on certain topics, but also to give her professional advice on things as well. And vaccination was something you were wanting to ask her about, wasn't it, Liv?
I was going to ask you about HPV, because it's something that we've known about it for a long time, but I think it's getting a lot more press recently, and there's a lot of coverage around the vaccination and should people be going for it. What's your opinion on the vaccination for HPV?
So, just in case any of your viewers don't know much about HPV, it is a virus that is very easy to contract, particularly when you're sexually active, and some types of HPV can cause cervical cancer, cancer of the vagina, mouth cancer, rectal cancer. And so what they are proposing now is that young women, usually in year 8 at school, so 12 or 13, have the vaccination to basically prevent getting cervical cancer in the future. Now, there have been some people saying that it can cause cancer itself, but that's not the case at all. Okay. It's really important that if people are offered the vaccine, that they do take it up. But it's also important to say that even if you have the vaccination, you still need to have regular smear tests because the vaccination doesn't cover all strains of HPV.
Right. That's really interesting.
I've got just come back from holidays. This is quite a topical one. Skin cancer, because skin cancer cases have reached an all-time high. It did last year. And obviously, we're going into the summer months, you know, it getting hotter here and also people going abroad. What are the changes to skin that people should be aware of, but also keeping in mind, you know, different skin types?
Yeah, I think that's really important. First of all, please, everybody, wear your factor 50. Whether it's cloudy or sunny, your skin ageing process will thank you, but you also decrease...
There's a lot of scaremongering online around sun cream at the moment. I keep seeing this on my TikTok, like, people are going, well, sun cream's bad for you.
No,
your advice
sun
be
cream.
Wear sun cream.
Wear sun cream. Sun cream is so important, and make sure you put it on your ears as well, because a lot of people get skin cancer on their ears. It's also a myth that you can't get skin cancer if you're black or Asian and have darker skin. That is a nonsense.
Okay. Yeah.
But the things to look out for, typically we hear about the dark mole on light skin, but it can be any area of change that you notice on your skin that is itchy or bleeding or sort of discoloured compared to the rest of your skin.
It can change slightly, because I had a basal carcinoma on my nose. I couldn't even see it.
Yeah.
I just thought it was like a tiny black dot. And I went to the dermatologist for a completely different reason, because there was another patch of discoloured skin on my face. And, of course, I've said on this show, people have to check their moles all the time.
All the time.
And any change, no matter how small, you should be mindful of. Because with me, that tiny dot had to be cut out, and I had a scar right down my nose. And I mean, I came on the show to show people that the scar would heal really quickly and that you wouldn't see it.
You can't tell at all now.
No, you can't. But I say to people, you just said about factor 50, I say the back of your hands as well, if you're wearing jackets or sweaters, don't forget the back of your hands.
I'm really negligent of that, you know, actually.
Yeah.
It's given me a bit of a...
Because the skin's so thin.
Do you not put something on every day?
No, I don't. I don't, but it's one of those things you think...
I
don't think about it.
What about foundations that say, you know, or bases, they say they've got factor 30?
Oh, factor 30. I still always say, and try to do myself, is apply my sun cream, even in the winter. You can use a slightly lighter consistency one, but use my factor 50 in the winter, and on top of that, put my SPF containing like foundation or tinted moisturiser. But one thing people say so often is that they feel stupid going to their doctor saying, I've got this dot on my face, or I've got this dot on my hand, or I've got this dot on my arm. Just go. It is literally our jobs as doctors to support you if you're worried about something. So no one should ever be turning you away or making you feel as though you're not welcome to come there because there's something that you're worried about.
Rosena, can I... Can I ask you, I don't have health anxiety, but I tend to worry less about what can physically happen to me. But because of my history, I worry about what can mentally happen. And as we get older, I worry about dementia, Alzheimer's. It's thankfully not in my direct family. But we're hearing every day about some new drug that's come on the market, and I know it raises people's hopes. Are we any nearer to finding a cure? I know that there are something like 72 different types of dementia, but are we any closer?
Oh, gosh, you know, my dad had dementia. He got it early on when he was young. He had the same type of dementia. He got it in his early 60s. He had the same type of dementia that Bruce Willis has, so the one that affects his speech. He could understand what was going on, but he couldn't communicate. Obviously, he was an Asian man, so he was treated as though he couldn't understand English. Yeah. All of that journey we went down. I would dream of there being a one-size-fits-all types of dementia cure. And I know that there's a lot of research underway, and that is so important. I don't think we're at a cure yet for dementia overall, because there are so many different types. There's lots of research into Alzheimer's, but also you can get, like, vascular dementia. So if you smoke, if you have a poor diet, if you don't exercise, you are at a greater risk, really, of getting dementia. And as we're all living longer, it is more and more inevitable that we're going to get it. And, you know, I just remember going through that whole journey with my dad, who's passed away now, and thinking to myself, if someone said to me that I could do a test to find out if I would have what he had, I wouldn't do it because I wouldn't want to live with that thought that could happen. But also, I want to feel that I can do everything I can now in terms of trying to live healthily, positively, keep my brain active, come and chat to you, ladies.
On that note, we've only got you for another couple of minutes. I know that Denise was really interested to talk about weight loss jabs, because that's very much in the news at the moment. There's lots of scaremongering about how bad it is, and there's lots of information saying how good it is. Are there side effects that people should be looking out for?
Because I know the snack companies are paying some newspapers, allegedly, to give it a bad reputation, whereas it's saving lives in many instances.
Gosh, what a topic. I've only got a couple of minutes. So, look, ultimately, the medication is a strong diabetes medication, right? So with any drug, there are possible side effects. That is no different with Ozempic or Mounjaro. Some of the things you can have are diarrhea, constipation, nausea, vomiting. Some people are really on a journey where they've tried everything. And you can get the weight loss medication, which is in the form of injection, on the NHS if you have a body mass index, so that's looking at a couple of things that your doctor can help you work out, of 30 or more, or if it's 27 but you have weight-related issues. So I think it's always, always a balance to be had here. And just because you have it once doesn't mean you have to be on it lifelong. I think it's always important to be cautious, though.
All right. Well, Dr. Rosena, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.